Hello, this is Callum Knott. So this is a tutorial on how to make the hips for a Lego minifigure. This is part of a series of tutorials on creating an entire Lego man into an assembly, but we're just looking at the hips first. So this is the technical drawing which I've produced, which you're able to find the dimensions for. You can find it on the blog, callumk.com, or I've provided it for you. So there are three views that we've got to look at here. We've got a kind of front view, a top view, and a side view here. It's pretty simple dimensions. We're going to start by producing just the rectangular section, and then we're going to put the Lego connectors on top, followed by the little kind of center bit down here, the inner thigh, and then the two connectors on there, the rotating ones. So that's the order we're going to build in. Let's get started. So I'm going to jump over to Solidworks and create a new document and choose Part. Solidworks will go away and think about that. And then we're going to get started. So sketch, sketch. Now, when you start, it's important to think about which plane you're going to draw on. I'm going to choose the top plane. And the reason I'm going to do the top plane is because I'm going to start by drawing this view here, which is looking down from the top. So I'm going to choose the top plane. And then I'm going to choose a center rectangle. So I'm going to choose a center rectangle and start on the origin point here. So I'm going to click, drag away, and then click. Release. And we end up with a little rectangle like this. Using the Smart Dimension tool, I'm going to click once on that. I'm going to click once on this top line, move the mouse away, I'm not currently clicking, and then I'm going to click once more. So that's just two clicks. Once on this line, and then once here. Once I've done that, this pop-up window will let me type in a specific distance. So I'm going to type in 15.5, that's wrong, 14.5 millimeters. And press OK. And it's set it to 14.5 millimeters. I got that from here, this dimension. So we're building this, it's just rotated through 90 degrees in this view. So the next one is 7.8. So we're going to come back into here, choose Smart Dimension again, click once on the outside edge, move the mouse, click once, and then I can type 7.8 millimeters and press enter. So that's the dimensions done, and then I need to click Finish. Finish is up here in the top right hand corner. You always have to click Finish when you've finished drawing in 2D and then you want to start drawing in 3D. So I'm going to press Finish. And then I'm going to use the middle mouse button just to rotate this a bit. There we go. I'm going to choose Features, Extrude Boss/Base, and I'm going to put it to a height. I can look at my dimensions again and I can see that here the height is 2.15, so that's what I'm going to choose. 2.15 millimeters. Done. So this is the main kind of hip section. Let's add the points on top, the two Lego connectors. So to do that, I'm going to then choose Sketch, Sketch, and click on this top face to say that this is where I want to sketch. And you can see the little red arrows have shown up, which means I'm now sketching. So I'm going to choose Circle, and I'm choosing Center Point Circle, not Perimeter Circle. This is the default one, just a normal circle. And I'm going to draw two of them. So as I move my mouse over here, you can see that there is a blue dotted line which is shown up. And I want to build my circle on that dotted line, because what it means is it's going to be horizontally related to the origin point. So I'm going to choose one over here, click once, drag, click again, and one over here, click, drag, release. I'm going to choose the Smart Dimension tool again. Click once on the outside, move Dimension tool away, click again, and we're going to set this to 4 millimeters. I'm going to do the same on here, so that's clicking once, moving away, clicking again, 4 millimeters. The last thing I need to do is give them a dimension away from the center. So sometimes you are able to kind of click on the center and dimension. You're not able to in this case. So what we're going to do is use the center line function. So under line, center line. And I'm going to draw a line going from the center point of this circle to here. and then another one to here. And once I've finished, the line is still attached to my mouse, so to get rid of that I'm going to press escape, and that kind of says I'm done with the tool. So you can see I've ended up with 2 lines. I'm going to dimension those lines so that they're 4mm each as well. So I'm going to choose once, 4, OK, and the same on this side. Once, move away, click, 4, OK. I've finished drawing in 2D now, so I'm going to press finish. And then I'm going to press extrude. And I want these to go up to a height of 4mm. 4mm. And I can see that that's from here. So we have a 4mm height here. And all these dimensions are from here as well. So 4mm radius, and we said it was 8mm between the 2 pieces, which is why we did 4mm here to here and another 4mm here to here. 8mm total. But we've got a 4mm extrusion, we press finish, and there we go. So the next thing to look at is on the underside we have this bit that drops down. Now this is a 5mm drop down, and it's in the centre and it's 2mm wide. So to do that, it's very, very easy. All we do is turn over. We're going to choose Sketch, Sketch, and choose the bottom face. We're going to choose a centre point rectangle, and we're going to click and drag up until it snaps to one of these lines. And because it's a centre point, when it hits the top, it's also hitting the bottom. That's kind of important. It's hitting them at the same time because it's all centred around the origin. So I've done that, and then I'm going to Smart Dimension this top edge to be 2. And that is it for our 2D drawing. Very, very easy. Finish and extrude. And we want to extrude this to 5mm. Okay, so we can already see that it is starting to come together very nicely. There we go. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to put our little spoke on, our spokes that come out either side. We can see them on the underside of this drawing here, but more clearly in this side view. So this is a 2.5mm circle that is 2.5mm down from this bottom line, and it's centered. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose this plane here, just click it, or click away rather, Sketch, Sketch, and then choose here. I'm going to choose a circle again. I'm going to draw it. We can see that dotted line again. That means it's centered. That's what I want. So, and dragging out. We're going to choose dimension. Dimension this to 2.5mm diameter. And then we're going to extrude. Now we're going to extrude this so that it goes 3mm. But remember, we want one on one side and we want one on the other. Now it would be possible to do this 3mm, finish, and then go to the other side and start drawing all the circles again. But we can actually cheat a little bit here. We have a second direction which is available through our extrusion panel. So we're going to click direction 2. And we have it here set to 5mm. It's done that because I've done this before and it is kind of remembering. So 3 on one side, 5 to the other, because this is 2mm thick, means 2mm plus 3, and they'll be equal on either side. So we can press finish, and we're done. Easy as that. Okay, so the final thing we want to do is these archways that come over here. To do that, we're going to start a new sketch on this back panel. And there are multiple ways of starting a sketch. Normally what we've done is we've chosen Sketch, Sketch, and then click to face. It is also possible to right-click, then choose Sketch. So I've done that this time. I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to draw a circle that has the same centre point as this circle. So there it is. You can make this little X appear by hovering first over the outline, then when it appears, moving to the centre. So I'm going to click from that centre and drag out until I get to the very edge here. And it's snapped to a radius of 3.9. Now a radius of 3.9 is also a diameter of 7.8, so this is the same width. You see, once I've done that, we have the beginning of this arch. Very important. Now what I want to do is extrude cut this all the way in this direction. However, if I do that now, we're going to end up getting rid of the axle which we've already put on. So to stop that from happening, I'm going to choose the line tool, and I'm going to draw a line that intersects just above where the axle is. So you see, like that. And to get rid of this line tool, I'm going to just deselect it. I can use the Trim Entities tool, and then cut like a knife through the bits I want to get rid of. So I'm going to cut off this excess on the left, I'm going to cut off the circle, and I'm going to cut off the excess on the right. Once that's been done, I am able to say yes, I am finished and happy with this curve, and I am able to extrude cut in this direction. So I just drag it through. Now, I can't go through the other way as well, like this, because you would end up cutting through the centre point, and we don't want to do that. So with this, we are going to have to actually draw on the other side. But that's no big deal. So you're just going to press finish. And you can see we have wonderfully cut that archway away. I'm going to spin around and very quickly go through the same steps on the other side. So I'm going to start by right-clicking. I'm going to choose a new sketch. I'm going to choose a circle, which I want to make sure is centered on the same point and comes out to the same perimeter, 3.9. I'm going to take a line and make sure it comes across the intersect here. Press escape to get rid of it, and then use the trim tool to cut, cut, and cut. Once we're done, we can finish 2D drawing. Use the extrude cut tool and drag in the direction that we want to cut. And there we go. So we now have our two connectors on the top, we have our arches, we have our T-piece with our little pelvis in the middle, with the two joints on either side. So the last thing we want to do is, if we look at here, we just want to smooth these corners off. And these have a radius of 2.5. And the way we can do that is we use the fillet tool, which is up here. It's on the features panel. So rather than sketching this time and then extruding or cutting or lofting, what we're doing is actually applying an operation to the 3D shape directly. So we choose fillet, and then I select this edge and also this edge. I can set a fillet property of 2.5 millimeters, and then I press OK. And there we have it, our wonderful little Lego hips. So hopefully this has been useful. We will go on and do the other parts of the tutorial shortly.